What's going on, boys and girls? Hey, listen, today we're going to talk about a fragrance from the house of, I hear people pronounce this all the time as Bharara, but I believe it's Bharara. Strap up and let's go for that ride. All right, welcome to the scent bubble. I am your host for the evening. Can I get some light? There we go. Hope you guys are all doing well. Hey, listen, I'm probably pronouncing it wrong as well, but Bharara, and the fragrance is called Dawn Eau de Parfum. Okay, so what's nice about this fragrance is it's a 5 ml, so we can get some good testing with this. And what's equally as nice is that I have several extra 5 mls, so that will be going in the giveaway. Yes. Okay, let's get an initial impressions on this fragrance. Actually, before I do that, let's do some brief housework. So, Bharara is a relatively modern fragrance brand that has gained attention in the perfume community for offering a wide range of expressive and approachable scents. Founded by entrepreneurs with roots in India, the house draws cultural inspiration from the ancient spice route, traveling route that is, aiming to infuse its fragrances with emotion, nostalgia, and sensory storytelling. Many of its perfumers are crafted Many of its perfumes are crafted to evoke memories and moods, whether it's the freshness of a first rain or the warmth of a cherished moment, blending traditional influences, I'm guessing that's Indian influences, with contemporary perfume techniques. Early releases came around in 2020. It has a broader brand history dating as far back as 2011. And that's all I'm going to share with you. So, fragrance came out, this one particular called Dawn, dropped in 2021. It has a 4.45 out of 5 rating, which is astounding, but only 38 votes. So, take that rating with a grain of salt. Let's get into this. Bharara Dawn. 2 sprays to the wrist. Hit the test strip. Indian influences, spruced up to be contemporary. I'm game for all that. Let's see what we're working with here. This is my first fragrance from this house. So I wouldn't be surprised if people call this some sort of an Aventus DNA. I don't know if this is a clone brand off the back, but it seems to be a, slightly spiced pineapple fragrance. It's almost like, and don't hang me on a cross for this, guys, because I don't know if any of you guys are fans of this, but it kind of feels like Club de Nuit Intense Man Light, to be honest. Or if you want to, put some respect on its name, maybe Aventus Cologne Light. It has a nice, pungent, robust, natural, good quality smelling pineapple woody opening, but then it dries down very quick and it's quite light. I don't like the dry down at all. It feels like it loses much of the pineapple opening. Feels like a cheap pineapple that just withered away. And now I'm getting more of what feels like a cheap woody experience with a little bit of lemon in the back. Even the test strip, quite light, quite airy, quite fresh. I'm not even going to get too deep with this. Let's just go straight to the window to see what other people are saying. Bergamot, pineapple, pepper in the top. Pear. Nah. Cardamom, clove, musk, sandalwood, patchouli. I'm going to be honest. It felt really high quality. Not high quality in terms of density, but it felt like good materials in the opening. But I'm seeing very quickly just how quick this transitions from a beautiful kind of Aventus-y style opening into virtually nothing. The scent is still very much there, but it seems like the base notes are quite cheap because I feel like I don't even know what's in that base. Maybe the clove and like some sandalwood. I liked the opening. It felt clone-ish, but I did like it. Then and then everything just dropped. It felt like to the base. Moderate to strong performance and sillage out of this scent. Very surprised by that. Now I did load my wrist with 2 sprays, so surprised it's so stinking weak on my wrist. This perfume reminds me of Aventus, L'Aventure, which is Aventus, Mont Blanc Explorer, which is Aventus, Club de Nuit Intense Man, which is Aventus, Nishane Hasavat. See, this is pissing me off, though, because, see, and this is what you have to take with a grain of salt, is it? I'm going to zoom in here. Look at these fragrances, guys. Aventus, L'Aventure, Explorer, Club de Nuit, and Hasavat. All pineapple fragrances that will be included in my pineapple power rank. As you guys are aware, I'm working on sorting through all of the best pineapple fragrances to the worst, including the clones, so you guys can figure out how to sort through this stuff. Because if you're somewhat experienced in the game, you kind of navigated this, but by default, because you bought a lot of these fragrances like ding dongs. But for most people just getting into the game, running into which is the best Aventus clone if you can't afford the OG, or the best Hasavat clone, or the best Versace Eros Energy clone, which a lot of people butt in and say, well, hey, Eros Energy is lemon and bergamot. Well, it smells Aventus-y, you know, so get off my back for that. But here's what's deceptive. Creed Aventus got 21 upvotes, 1 downvote. L'Aventure got 10 upvotes, 1 downvote. Explorer, 9 up, 0 down. Club de Nuit, 9 up, 1 down. Hasavat, 6 up, 2 down. This is what's deceptive about this, guys. People are just upvoting it because it kind of mildly resembles these fragrances. But I'm going to be honest with you. Now, on the dry down, it smells like none of this stuff. So all this should get a downvote. Downvote, 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 downvote. And secondly, you can't have a fragrance that smells like all 5 of these. You just can't. Aventus is different than Club de Nuit. There's even differences between L'Aventure and Club de Nuit, and they're both cloning the same fragrance. So this is just utter ridiculousness, and that's why I downvoted all this. And I hope people start waking up and smelling the coffee quick, or sober-minded people who have tried all of these fragrances, which I have, come in here and give some honesty, because what it looks like is people have just upvoted any resemblance to Aventus, when even in the dry down in this fragrance, it's quite lifeless. This will be a short review, guys. I'm really shocked that on the performance tab, they said this was moderate to strong sillage and longevity. 16 moderate, 14 long-lasting votes. Now, here's where context matters, boys and girls. I want you to look at this. Despite all this information you might download checking this fragrance out before you buy it, you must remember this number right here. 38 votes, only 5 reviews, okay? So I'm not feeling this vote. I'm not feeling the descriptions, the comparisons, none of it. This is a bunch of childish data that needs to be mediated by more votes coming in with some more sober input. I want to see some comments. Great smell, lasts for 30 minutes, then becomes a skin scent. See, this is a guy, this is the sober conscience coming into play. When I first tried Dawn, it was strong pineapple and smoky, 6 out of 10 all the way around. I let a few months go by before trying it again. Now it smells like Creed, but stronger. I'm about to test it a few times, but as of now, 9 out of 10. So he waited a couple months for it to macerate, but I'm going to tell you right now, this dry down's terrible. Even if it macerated, I don't know. This is not fair. Clone houses nowadays mislead us with their presentations. I thought this was a clone of Mancera's Red Tobacco. Okay, nice smell, very intimate, poor performance on the other side of the spectrum compared to Bharara King. So I'm guessing King smells different. We'll get into that soon. Dawn has weak sillage and projection. An Aventus clone that doesn't perform at all. So if all these people are giving this negative reviews, why the heck are you guys giving them these comparisons? And why the heck did it get such a high rating? This is inflated garbage this fragrance sucks. Let's wrap up, because I don't even want to describe what I'm smelling, because I'm really smelling cheap materials. So my encouragement to you guys is I wouldn't even, this fragrance is so bad, I wouldn't even include it at the bottom of my pineapple power rank at all. And I borderline don't even want to give it to you guys in the giveaway because it's almost disrespectful. So maybe we might just do a little philanthropy and charity it out, you know, for free. You guys let me know in the comment section. Do you want me to include them? Because I got like 5 mLs of this fragrance. So you guys let me know. I'll throw it in there if you want for free. But that fragrance is buns. The dry down's terrible. This is an example of what happens when you go online and you buy a bunch of really cheap grade materials and try to call yourself a perfume house. They should be ashamed of themselves for this fragrance. However, what I will say, yeah, that dry down is absolutely despicable. What I will say is hopefully there's redeeming qualities in the other renditions. And hopefully these other renditions aren't clones, because this brand seems to have its own visual identity and they're not trying to come out as clones. But as you'll see later this year, I will be presenting to you guys a lot of companies and fragrance brands that try to look as if they have all original stuff, but they're cloning with every single fragrance blatantly. And this seems to be the case, at least with the start of this house. So far, this house is not exciting me, but I will not judge them based off of one bad fragrance. Every house has a terrible fragrance, but this one is truly below terrible. With that being said, this fragrance isn't even worth giving a rating. You don't need to put your nose on it. You can simply skip and walk past this fragrance and act like you never even saw the review. I won't judge you, and I can't see you. Anyways, guys, this was Bharara Dawn, and it has Dawn pissed me off because this should not be on anyone's shelf unless they bought it by accident. And I still wouldn't keep it on my shelf even if I wasted the coin. I might crack the glass from frustration. With that being said, you guys let me know in the comment section below if you've had this experience with this fragrance. I'm sure you have if you've ran into it. Hopefully for most of you guys, I don't hear a lot of people talking about Bharara Dawn. So hopefully you guys haven't ran into this pitfall of a fragrance, this travesty of a fragrance. And hopefully this review has saved any curious minds on this fragrance, because it is not even worth putting your nose to, especially for an Aventus rendition in which this is almost the first fragrance every clone house tries to clone just so they can be on the up and up with their profitability so they can pivot. But anyways, with that being said, like, comment, subscribe. More importantly, turn on that notification bell. Talk to me. I do talk back. Hey, if you were wondering what the price was and all that, don't worry about any of that detail stuff that I left out as far as wearability and experience. This fragrance isn't even me worth telling you about, you know, the use case and the sprays. Don't even look at the fragrance. Get off the computer and stop searching for it. Alternatives, everything, any of the OGs, Eros Energy, Aventus Cologne, Aventus Absolute, Hassavat. And if you're truly looking for an Aventus clone out there, you have many options, much of which are better and more performing and more quality than this. Club de Nuit Peugeot, Off-Non Supremacy Collector's Edition, L'Aventure, Off-Non Supremacy Not Only Intense, Nitro Black. There's just a buttload of Aventus DNAs. Club de Nuit, limited edition, the Parfum version. There's just so many you can choose from, guys. Close your eyes and throw a dart at a board, and whatever it lands on, that fragrance will smell better than this rendition of Aventus. With that being said, I hope you guys have a blessed rest of your week. Talk to me in the comments, but talk to me in a different comments, because this video will not even be worth leaving a comment. Hopefully this was helpful for you, though, guys. Peace.